MP for Mutembei, followed by the Honorable Frederick Lusuli Ikana, the MP for Shinyaru. Proceed, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker, this is my third time in Parliament, and I've listened to very many State of the Nation addresses. Honorable Speaker, if I were to candidly advise the President, I would request him to sack whoever wrote this State of the Nation address. Because, Honorable Speaker, it does not speak to the matters the President ought to address under Article 132C of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, the matters the President is required to address are matters regarding national values and principles of governance, and how his regime has complied with them. Honorable Speaker, when you look at this State of the Nation address by the President, it's about what the President imagines are his achievements. You'd think the President is giving himself a scorecard in terms of what he has done, not in terms of how his regime is securing the full realization of the national values and principles of governance. And Honorable Speaker, if I were to refer colleagues and Parliament to Article 10, those national values and principles of governance are set out in sub-article 2. And Honorable Speaker, they are patriotism, national unity, sharing and devolution of power, the rule of law, democracy and participation of the people, human dignity, equity, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, and protection of the marginalized. In addition, Honorable Speaker, we have good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. Honorable Speaker, it is therefore not sufficient for the President to tell us, for instance, that his regime has secured the employment of 56,000 teachers. That one is the duty of government. And these teachers are being paid by taxes raised by Kenyans. What we want to hear from the President is how these 56,000 teachers have been distributed across the country in a manner that secures those ideals and the national values. And I can tell you, Honorable Speaker, there are parts of this country where teachers have been employed, up to teachers who graduated in 2022. Honorable Speaker, when you go to constituencies like mine, I have teachers who are retiring without ever being employed. These are the skewed things the national values and principle of governance wanted to do away with. And Honorable Speaker, you saw a short while back, even politicians distributing TSC employment forms. In our constituencies, you get 2 or 3 people being sent. So the government is interfering with even the independence of the commission in securing these national values relating to equity and fairness. This is what we should be talking about. Honorable Speaker, just a short while back, in terms of inclusiveness, non-discrimination, and equity, we were here with the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, confirming the last employment of KRA officers went largely to 2 regions. The others were just droppings here and there. I can confirm in Mutembei town constituency, none at all. These are the matters the President ought to address. It's not a matter of telling us Jubilee government, I mean UDA government or Kenya Kwanza is going this direction. Honorable Speaker, ask yourself. It is one thing to say the regime is successful and quite another to be real. When you say, for instance, Honorable Speaker, that from the Hustler Fund, a Kenyan has borrowed 714,000, but that person is still in a call with the President, asking the President to raise the fund so that he may be able to buy a tuk-tuk. What does he tell you? The Hustler Fund has failed. If you have borrowed up to 714, you should buy so many tuk-tuk, What is this system that can keep you borrowing but cannot enable you to invest? These are the things we are talking about.
I have given you an additional 2 minutes. Proceed. Proceed. You have taken 5 minutes, but I have given you the leeway to add
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we may talk about the regime seeking to have an independent police so that the security measures the President ought to address are addressed. We are talking about judiciary being given money and their independence being secured. But Honorable Speaker, it is one thing for the regime to say we promised the judiciary 3 billion and we gave it to them. And it is quite another to allow the judiciary access that money. Honorable Speaker, there is an animal called IFMIS at Treasury here. where all arms of government, all agencies of government, including this parliament, budget for monies and they can see it, but they can never reach it. I can tell you the judiciary is struggling, just as this parliament currently cannot even move. We have measures being implemented where parliament is budgeting, but other agencies are determining budget and are not access to these funds. And an honorable speaker, look at the independent commissions, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Office of the Auditor General, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. How have we secured the fight against corruption so that there can be enough resources to be equitably shared in the nation? This regime came in with a collapse of the fight against corruption. Cases are being dropped down by the courts at a rate that is shocking even people who can just sit at somewhere, know that so-and-so is so corrupt by what they earn. These commissions and independent offices are being underfunded, Honorable Speaker. Talk to members of Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Talk to us who oversight some commissions in administration and internal affairs. Even the little budget. Honorable Speaker, let me give you an example. A commission like National Police Service Commission and Independent Police Oversight Authority, their annual budget is 100 million. Their annual travel allowance, including external travels, is 850. And in the supplementary budget we'll be dealing with, it is a cost to go below 300,000. Not 300 million, 300,000. So we've disabled the commissions that can secure there is no corruption, Honorable Speaker. So that we have resources. Honorable Speaker, I was just beginning.
You've had next time. Honorable Ikana, MP for Shinyalu. Proceed, the Honorable
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to comment on the presidential address that was made in this House last week.